people can actually see me.
There you go. How are you? How's your evening going?
Great, great. Things are
Good.
going good.
Good. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Everyone, as people make it on, go ahead and drop where you are logging in from. We want to know. And if you have any questions, feel free to jump those in the chat as well. So we have Ms. Litza with us today. Thank you so much for joining. Today, we really wanted to just talk about the upcoming workshop that we have coming up on October the 1st. And this workshop, I'm going to let Litza give a little bit more details, but it's all about finding the daily balance. So we know through the pandemic, there has been so much going on. People stress, losing jobs, a lot of different things that may weigh heavy on you emotionally. And so Litza is actually a licensed professional counselor, and she sees clients every day, all day, every day. And she helps people work through those stressors that they may have. And so I want to give you the floor to tell us, Litza, a little bit about you. Oh, and for you, if you do happen to see this video, I'm Tasha. I am the owner of Crew Wellness LLC, where we provide professional development for healthcare workers. So, Litza, give us a little bit about you and what you do in your practice, Shining Lights Counseling.
Well, hey, everybody. Like you said, I'm Litza. And yes, my practice is called Shining Lights Counseling. And I'm so passionate about mental health. And I want to advocate, especially for African American and Latino community, about mental health. But also, this training that we're having is for healthcare workers and community workers, because we pour in so much to everybody, right? And sometimes we don't take care of ourselves. And me, I used to work for a hospital. I used to work as a teacher also. So all those jobs gave me that experience of pouring in, pouring in, pouring in, and never taking care of myself. So I'm so passionate about that, and I want to educate all the workers about self-care and daily self-care, because that's the main thing, right? Doing self-care every day.
Yeah. And for some of you who have listened to the podcast, she may sound very familiar. Litza was on the CHW Crew podcast, which had a lot of reviews and downloads. It's one of our top episodes that had many, many downloads. And so the nuggets that she drops in that podcast were amazing, where she talks about mental health. And this was in the middle of the pandemic.
Yes, it was. Now that you say that.
Yeah, so that a lot of people really enjoyed that episode because so much was going on. People were away from friends and family, and just so many different emotions. And so, with that being said, I will make sure to drop that podcast episode so you can go back and listen to
Yes.
everything that we talked about, and the tips and tools that she shared there. And she's going to be sharing even more in the workshop, where
Definitely.
she will be working, going a little bit deeper. So if you listen to the podcast episode, that's kind of the icing. But the workshop, I'll say that's going to be like the cake part.
Yes,
So
yes.
tell us about, what are some benefits of this curriculum that you created that you think that healthcare workers and people working in the serving industries would really benefit from coming to the Finding Daily Self-Care Workshop?
Well, first of all, we break down in the workshop what is burnout, what is compassion fatigue, and what is vicarious trauma. And as much as people use them interchangeably, they're completely different. So we will definitely break that down. Then also we're going to make a plan, a self-care plan for people to use in their daily lives, right? And another big thing, which I think is one of the biggest things in the training, is I'm going to teach 3 exercises that you could do under 5 minutes at your job, anywhere really. But the main reason I'm teaching those 3 exercises is that we can do them at our jobs, at our desks, so that we can relax ourselves and practice some self-care at work. Because self-care can be done at work too.
Yeah, listen, if you are an employer, maybe you should sign up your group, your team,
Yeah,
because it's not something that I think we talk enough about. You may get a handout, but actually practicing it and putting it into action before you are super stressed. If you have built up PTO, which at one point in time, that was me, somebody that had over 60 hours of PTO,
wow.
did not use it because I was trying to climb that corporate ladder, thinking maybe, just maybe, that would show that I was committed, and
Yeah,
you once you get to the point to where you are burned out and you realize it's really not worth my health or my wellness, that's when you need to go into implementing that self-care plan. And that's what we're going to do at the workshop. You'll have a self-care plan that you can put into practice, and one that gives you the creativity to create it however you want it to be.
exactly. Exactly. I think when we think about self-care, we think, oh, going to the spa, getting massages, going on a trip, right? And yes, that is self-care too. But that's not things that you could do every day,
Yeah.
right? And sustain yourself. I mean, if I had the money, I don't even think I'll be able to do it anyways, because again, it's time. So these things are very practical, that we're going to learn. Some of the exercises that we're going to learn are very practical, really quick. You can do it at your desk, like I said, actually doing it, walking around your job if you really want to. So it's just ways of bringing yourself back in, taking care of yourself. And also just empowering people to take care of themselves daily, because self-care is so much more than, again, what we think it is. Self-care is just things that we can do every day to help us get through the work week. And yes, self-care is not the cure-all, right? Because again, I've heard a lot of people say that, well, I practice self-care and it doesn't fix this and that. Of course, there's system problems, right? In any job.
Yeah.
But self-care will help sustain you. And it's also just good for your health, period. Physical and mental health. Yeah.
I think one of the major benefits, if you're a community health worker, if you're a community health worker instructor, this is going to be a DSHS certified 1-hour workshop. So if you need to renew, this
Yes.
great workshop to have on your docket and get the certificate for your renewal. If you are a CHW in another state, you still get the certificate so that you can add that into your continuing education and professional development to show that you have been practicing, one, self-care, and two, also putting into place keeping up to par your professional development. And so I know community health workers, that's really important. And so we wanted to make sure that this is beneficial for you, not only for self, but also professionally, so that you could add this to your certificates and to your professional development for renewal. So with that being said, we have a couple of questions that I would like to ask you, Lisa.
Okay.
I know you just finished being clients, but hey, we just got a
It's
couple.
okay.
So if there's an employer out there, what advice would you give a healthcare? Well, let me start this one. What advice would you give a healthcare worker who finds their work environment extremely stressful,
Mhm.
the workload is heavy, and they don't even know where to start trying to create a balanced environment? What would you say is the first step? If somebody today, they see this video and they're like, I don't even know where to begin.
Where to begin? Yeah. And so many people don't know where to begin, right? But I'll say, even sit down and really, like, even write out your day, right? What you do throughout this day that you figured out, okay, I can't do this no more. And see what are some things that you can take out of your day. Because sometimes we do things and we add on more stress to ourselves, right?
Something to do it or keep busy, stay busy. Yeah.
Yeah, but not only that, it's just some things we could delegate, right? Some things we don't have to do. It's somebody else's job and we're doing it because we want it perfect, right? Because a lot of this stuff I'm not doing self-care is coming from trying to be perfect or having a type A personality, right? Or feeling that pressure of if I don't do it, nobody else is going to do it or it's not going to come out right. I know I sometimes have that even mentality sometimes, even myself. And I have to check myself and be like, sis, okay, slow down. Can
Mhm.
somebody else do this? Or somebody can help you do it, right? So really take an evaluation of your day, your daily, your week, actually, right? And see where are some things you could take out and some things you could add in, which is the self-care piece, right? And we'll definitely go over some self-care things that we could do in the training, but see where you can schedule self-care for yourself during your day so that you can have moment breaks during your work day. Actually take your breaks. What about that? Because
Away, away
a
from your
lot
desk.
of us don't take our lunch. We don't take a 15-minute break during the day. And I get it. As healthcare workers, it's very hard to
Yeah.
find that time. But by law, we're supposed to have that time. So
Mhm.
at least take your lunch, right? And when I say take your lunch, don't be sitting at your desk,
Mhm.
right? Actually getting out of your office or going in your car even. Having moments like that you can find to take care of yourself because it's so important. So I would definitely suggest taking inventory,
Mhm.
right? Because I think by taking inventory you could see where are the pieces you're working with.
I love that. Being able to sit down and reflect on your day, everything you have going on, and for some people, that is a really good tip because they may not even realize all of the things that they have going on or have had a chance to really do that. So that's a really, really good tip. Number two, what actions can healthcare worker employers put in
Mm.
place to create a workplace environment that supports their employees to incorporate self-care while at work?
So, in all my previous jobs, I talked to our supervisor and my boss, and advocated for especially the other workers that was working with me because again, I always tell employers, if you want your staff to be on it, to do their job 100%, you have to create a space for them that they can take breaks, that they can take their lunch, that they can take care of themselves. And I even suggest employers to have days that is just for self-care for their employees to actually validate the work they're doing. Because I get it, in some jobs it is like everybody's stressed, everybody's running around. At least validate your employees. Let them know they're doing a great job and you appreciate them. Because a lot of times with burnout, especially with burnout, employees don't feel validated at their
Validate
job,
at their jobs.
and they don't feel that their supervisor cares about all their hard work that they're putting in and all the sacrifices they're doing. Because it is a lot of sacrifice,
Is it?
especially in this type of field.
Yeah.
So if the employer pours in to their employees, and I'm not talking about a Gene Day or those little things that really don't matter. Um, Actually, really acknowledging their employees, noticing things that they're doing at the job, telling them, "Hey, I'm noticed that you're stressed. Do you need to take some time off?" Noticing those little things is going to be important because the employees are going to feel validated.
That is so good. And I feel like if more employers really, really took that more serious, they would see a more cohesive team, number one.
Mm-hmm.
That will bring people together and make people even more open a little bit to just changing that culture of just go
Yeah.
to your job. So I love that.
It starts from the top.
Yeah, yes. Yes. So any employers out there, hey, you can change at any point in time. And if you need further tips and tools, this is an amazing workshop for you to sign up your team so that they can come and learn these strategies so that they can implement them while at work. And by the way, they get a CEU out of it. So it's professional development. They can get a CE out of it, and also they're able to learn these tools so that your team can be healthy and
Hmm.
while on the clock. So,
Yeah.
what does self-care mean to you? We're going to end on that note.
Whew. Self-care is just, I call myself the self-care queen. Self-care to me is just life. It's part of my life now.
Mm-hmm.
Before I didn't practice self-care, and I was burned out. I had compassion fatigue. I had vicarious trauma, right? And my mentor had to sit me down and was like, "Litza, you gotta take care of yourself." I was pouring into everybody and everything, and not pouring into myself. And somebody told me you have to be pouring to others from your overflow.
Yes.
And practicing self-care is pouring from my overflow at my job and to my loved ones and my family.
Mm-hmm.
So when I pour into myself, I'm able and I'm capable and I'm happy to pour into others. And I think that's what self-care is for me, is being able to have that capacity to help others and do this job that I'm doing.
I love that. So we're going to leave. I want to, on that note, encourage somebody to complete that sentence. What does self-care mean to you? What does that look like to you? What does that mean to you? How are you implementing that in your daily life? If you don't know, if you're not doing it right now, if you want to get better at it, if you
Yeah.
want to encourage someone else to get better at it, come to the workshop. Come to the workshop and learn about how to do that. Get a plan in place. Get ready to end this last quarter. Get ready for the new year so that you have these things in place so that you can live a better quality of life and get a CE at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep saying that. So, do you have any other additional words about the workshop that you would like to share with everyone?
I just want to invite everybody to come out. Even if you're not working in this field, I still think it will benefit you. It's just an hour long, but like I said, you get so much out of it, right? And you get to learn so much about self-care and you really incorporate the plan. It'll help you. It's not about anybody else in this training. So when I did a previous self-care training, so many people came back to me and was like, by implementing this self-care plan in my life, I was able to like really be able to be more efficient, take care of so many other people and do more things because I'm taking care of myself. I'm prioritizing myself in my life. So I really recommend everybody to come out, even again, even if you're not a healthcare worker. Um, and if you are one and you want the CEs, come, it's like double win. Yes.
Yes. Lisa is a licensed professional counselor, so I appreciate her partnering with me to offer this. One, for community health workers to get the CE, but also for healthcare workers, because I know that she has poured so much into this course and is giving all types of amazing information in this CE. So definitely it's going to be worth your time. But also, most of all, we really want people to be able to implement these tools that she's teaching. And you can teach these to your kids, about self-care, because the younger they learn to do this, the
Yeah.
better. They can grow
Yeah.
up and practice it and have their friends practice it when they get stressed because as we all know, mental health right now for our young kids, young teens, young adults is it's not in the best state. And so we
It's
want them
not.
to practice these things early on so that they can live a productive, healthy, and well life. So on that note, Saturday, October the 1st, 11 a.m., $15 will get your ticket. It will get your seat in the virtual house. It's virtual. And so you can be anywhere and tuning in to this amazing professional development workshop where Litza, who is a licensed professional counselor supervisor, will be guiding us through this workshop and different practices we can implement on self-care around burnout, compassion, fatigue, and vicarious trauma. So definitely invite y'all to come out. Head on over to the website, www.crewwellnessllc.com, secure your ticket, and let your crew know so that they can come on in the room where Litza will be guiding us on an amazing workshop. All right, everybody. Thank y'all so much. We hope to see you in the virtual place.
Yes.
And oh, also, I didn't even say, Litza is also bilingual, you guys. So I'm going to leave a cliffhanger. You never know what else might be coming. So she is bilingual, speaks Spanish. So definitely check out her website as well. You want to go ahead and give your handles and your website?
Sure. All my handles is my website is www.shininglights with an S LLC.com, right? And all my social media handles is Shining Lights LLC. All right. So check me out. I always post like self-care tips and mental health tips, so come on out and check me out.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. We'll see y'all later. Have a good evening, everybody. Bye.